everyone, welcome to Get Ready with me, Louise. So today I'm going to be playing with the Natasha Denona Retro palette. I believe this is the... Hold on just a second. My cat is driving me crazy. He won't stop. Quit. I believe it's the last palette I have in the mini-series that I've been doing here. So after I do this, I'll rank them, and then we'll go into the bigger palettes, and then I'll go into the really small ones. I think is how I'm going to do this. But this is one of my favorite palettes, I have to say. I really do like it. Now, does it match the mini? No. There was a lot of controversy about it, although I do think it does go well with this palette. But I really love this palette. Like, I love all of her palettes, so I really can't, you can't really take what I say too much to heart. It's almost like a grain of salt because, I really, really do love all of her palettes. So let's go ahead and get started. The first shade I'm going to go into is Andy. This palette here just is like my perfect, what I would consider like a neutral palette, because it's like my color scheme, you know what I mean? But not so in your face color scheme. Like, I love pinks, like her Love palette. Oh, it is so my palette. Also, but it's more of you want to be seen, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna get seen, let's put it like that. Where with this one, it's more muted, but yet still in the pinky mauvey, situation. And that's what I love about this palette. It's almost like my perfect everyday. Depending on my mood. Like, the soft glam could be every day. The bronze palette could be an everyday. But I don't know what I've done there. Oh, cat fur. This cat is going to drive me crazy. I don't know what is wrong with him, but like, he is all over me today. I think it's because the kids left. Y'all, I have no kids. No kids on this house. No children, no grandchildren, no nothing. It's amazing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love my children. I love them. I love being a mom. I love all that. I'm not like the stay-at-home mom type of person. I mean, I am, but it's not something I enjoy. I enjoy working, always have. And I really thought once my daughter went to school, I would go back to work. But then I had my grandchildren, but one of them's getting ready to start school this year. But I'm kind of thinking I'm going to have to wait to go back to work until my daughter gets into middle school. Because right now, where she's still young, I have to pick her up off the bus. And it's hard to find a job around school and all that, And I don't just trust anybody with my children, so as far as like daycares and stuff like that. Because prior to me working, I had a friend who stayed at home, and I paid her to watch like my two eldest children, which was years ago. So the next shade I'm going to go into is Groove. So now I just kind of stay at home with my two youngest ones. I've stayed at home, well, since they've been born, really, so. But I'm thinking once my youngest child, my daughter, gets into middle school, I may get a job then. Still do this though, because I do enjoy showing the different palettes and from a beginner's perspective, and like what I think somebody would like from a beginning point of view, what I think would be easy and stuff. So that way, before you purchase something, from a beginner point of view, like, if it's easy or not. Because sometimes it's not. I'm not going to lie. Like makeup artists or people that's been doing makeup all this, years and years, their entire lives, things are easier to them because, they've been doing it. And you definitely do get better the more you do it, for sure. You will get better. But in the meantime, it's like you still need stuff to work for you while you're beginning. And you want stuff that looks good. So just because it looks good on a 20-year-old doesn't mean it's going to look good on a 42-year-old like myself. Because some shadows just don't. They show every crease and crevice I have, and it's not fun. Things I didn't even think I had, I now know I have because I bought the palette. I'm going back into that first shade, Andy. But I think, like with Pat McGrath and stuff, you have to use natural hair brushes. I think if you do, it's much easier to use the shadows, number one. And number two, you want good tools anyway. Now, do I think you should have to have these kind of brushes in order for a palette to work? No. But at the same time, you're buying high-end products, so you kind of would expect to have high-end brushes in a sense, tools. But with Natasha, you can use synthetic brushes and make it work. You really can, and not have an issue. Now, with Pat McGrath, that's a whole other story. Those shadows, you want natural hair. Now, I'm going to go take that shade Groove, and I'm going to run it across my lower lash line. But I think with Natasha's shadows, you can use either one, to be honest. Because I've used my Sigma brushes along with my Refa brushes to use these shadows, and they've worked just as well. I kind of did a pretty easy look today. Just because, I was trying to do something I haven't done with this palette before. I'm going to take the shade Rebellion on a little pencil brush and just run it right up against the lash line. I was trying to do a look I haven't done before using this palette, but I've done so many looks with this palette that I don't know what I've done and haven't done, because almost every shade's been touched. That's how I know I've used almost every shade. But I like this palette a lot, so I can imagine I have used it. Which says a lot for the collection I have. It says a lot. Okay, so now I'm going to take the shade Hello, and I'm going to pop it on my lid by using patting motions. And I don't get any fallout either. I didn't wet the shade. Of course, if I wetted it, it'd look much more metallic. But I don't find I really need to wet her shades. And it just looks so nice on the lid, too. That's such a pretty look right there, right? But I've got to go into a color. I'm going to go into Psychedelic, and I'm not going to wet it. But you can get a little bit of fallout with this one if you don't wet it. But I'm just going to push it on. Push it into my inner corner. And then sort of maneuver it a little bit. For me, it's just easier to push them. That way, because I like to not wet my shades to see what they would do. So if I just sort of push it and sort of move it in a little bit, work it in, it just, there's no fallout really with it like that, and it works into the other shades too, you know? And I'm not taking it that far in this color, I'm just sort of keeping it to the very inner portion here. But yet give it some oomph right there in the beginning of the eye. Trying to keep it even to the other eye too. Okay. I think I have them even. Okay. Then I'm going to go back into that Rebellion shade that I used to line my lash line. And I'm going to kind of like push it up against my top lash line. Nothing like precise, just sort of pushing it up in there. Just to sort of define when you go to put the mascara on. Just to see it kind of peeking out a little bit. Okay. And then that's all I used in the palette. I lined my waterline with ColourPop. Good reef. Then we're going to curl the lashes. I'm using my Rephr eyelash curler. And then I'm going to go in with my Lawless. Mascara. As soon as I brush them out a little bit. A little bit of that glitter, the psychedelic in my lashes. Okay. I'm just going to go with my Lawless One and Done mascara. I think I gotta get a new one of these too. I swear mascara can go through it, that's for sure. Actually, you can't go through it. It goes bad before you can even get through it. But I do like this mascara. I like this little ball at the end because it really can get every last lash. Alright. I think I got that. And then for bottom lashes, I'm going to use my Lancome Deaf and Seals. I can always comb these lashes out when I'm done. If I don't, if they're like stuck together too much. So, and I just really like this mascara though a lot. What is that cat? What are you getting into? I won't let him up on me because if he gets on me, he gets up in here and he tries to get to my brushes. So I can't let him up on me, right? Now he's down there tearing up paper towels. A roll of paper towels. Like anything he can do to aggravate me today, he's done. And he's black, right? So he tries to trip me going down the steps because I don't see him. Or in the bathroom, I have a black rug. And he can lay on that. And it's like he's camouflaged. I don't see him. So he'll lay there, and then when I go to brush my teeth or something, I'll step on him by accident, and then he looks up at me like I'm, it's my fault. How did I not see you? Type of thing. And I'm like, dude, you're like camouflaged. Oh no. It's like, come on. Alright, I'm just breaking those top lashes apart by using that, but I nicked myself. It's common, I'm gonna mess up somewhere. It is what it is with mascara. I'll let that dry and get it rid of it in a minute. My lips. This is a new. I've been wearing this and I really like this. It's YSL. And it's Glow Matte, I think. It's hard for me to read that. In 203. But first, let me tell you, I love the shape of that. Do you see that? It's like a diamond. I mean, it just looks perfect on your lips, right? And then it does kind of feel matte. I mean, it transfers. But yet, it's a nice... Glow Matte is a good name for it, really. I like the name for that. Because it is matte, but it's not like sucking my lips or anything like that. But yet it lasts a good amount of time, before I have to reapply it. I just really like that lipstick lately. And I have a couple of different shades, but I've been wearing that one the most. And I just really, I don't know. It does have a fragrance to it. I don't taste the fragrance. I can smell it when I put it on. But it's not like overly bad or anything like that. It's just really nice, to be honest with you. Alright. Alright. And this is the final look using the Retro palette. I like this palette, y'all. I can't, but I like all of her palettes again, so don't hold me to it, but I mean, I really like this palette because it's just got everything I need. It has my inner corner. It has the darker shades. You can even build it darker, like with her cream to powders and stuff. It really build the shade up as dark as you want on the outer corner. I just really like this palette. It's going to be rough to rank these because some of these, I mean, depending on my mood, it could be number one. Like, I would say this is my number one. But then there's the Glam palette, you see. And I really love it. And then Love the palette's right up my alley, too. But I try to think of it, like, I do, like, obviously it's what I like the best because it's my perspective on it. But I try to put, like, the reasoning behind why I do what I do. You know what I mean? Because I try to think of, like, what other people may or may not want. But this is the final look. I think it turned out really good. I think I got both eyes pretty even. So let me know if you have this palette. Let me know if you have any of her. I guess they'd be the MIDI palettes. MIDI, yeah, I think so. And which one's your favorite, or if you're thinking about one, like which one you're thinking about, or why you haven't purchased it, or even why you won't purchase it. I mean, it's still a hefty price tag, no matter how you look at it. So, but let me know, and I guess the next video will be, I'll make sure I did do them all. I'm pretty sure I have done all the MIDI palettes now, but I'll check to make sure, because there's, what, 7 of them. Yeah. So, but I'll make sure that I've already done a single video. So, if I have, then the next video will be the countdown of these. So, until then, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell, hit all that where you're notified when I do upload. I upload every day but Sunday, and unless I miss a day through the week, and then I'll upload on Sunday. But generally, every day but Sunday. And I'll see you in my next one. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy. Bye.